feeling like I'm stuck in my damn mind. Tell the feeling like I'm rapping a damn lie. Tell the feeling like my life is a damn game.
Hey, what's up, guys? Today, I'll show you a horror comedy film, ZOMBIVLI. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. An ambulance rushes through the city of ZOMBIVLI and reaches the hospital. A social worker named Vishwas takes an infected man inside the clinic, but there seems to be chaos everywhere. All the patients are going crazy with some kind of disease, and the doctors are struggling to hold them down. One of these patients is shown to be very aggressive, but asks for water to calm down. Vishwas wants to know what's going on with the patients, as he believes this might be a case of food poisoning. However, the doctor is saying it isn't as simple as it looks. The doctor starts to act like a jerk to Vishwas, so his right hand goes crazy and threatens the doctor by choking him midair. Vishwas calms his hormone let-go hand down and is taken away by the other medical workers. Now, the aggressive patient transforms into a zombie in a painful sequence. He rolls around the floor and walks towards the innocent people inside the hospital to feast on their juicy flesh. The next day, we see a pregnant woman named Preti who is throwing tantrums in the car with her husband Sudhir. He asks her to be quiet as they will reach their new home soon, but Preti blurts out a dirty word and blames it on the baby kicking her belly. As the couple enters the building, they notice some angry people who are arguing with the guard because the water tanker has been emptied without any reason. The couple walk into their new home and are amazed to see the spacious area. They break into a song and dance while preparing their home for the newest member of their family. Time passes by as the couple enjoys each other's company. However, one night, Sudhir watches the news and learns that there is a deadly virus terrorizing the locality. Meanwhile, an old man wanders around the city and bumps into a smelly zombie. He doesn't take the zombie seriously at first, but gets munched on in a deadly fashion when the zombie attacks him. The next day, Sudhir wakes up and stretches like a zombie himself. But he gets ready for work as if nothing happened. Preti talks to her mother-in-law on the phone, but she is too annoying for Preti. She cusses again and blames it on the baby kicking her belly again. Sudhir has to go to work to deal with a cheeky salesman. On his way, he notices a traffic jam caused by a water pipe leakage. A girl asks him for some water, but he refuses her the privilege and heads to his company, which is a mineral water company. After reaching the factory, Sudhir learns about the new immunity-building water products being developed by the company, but he's told that this water is being privatized and shipped to foreign countries, instead of being used to solve the current water shortage in the city. Meanwhile, Vishwas protests and causes a ruckus outside because the mineral water company is the actual cause behind the water shortage. The factory guard abuses him, causing his hand to awaken and attack the guard in a hilarious fashion. Sudhir notices a secret area, but his senior manager says that it is off-limits to him and only accessible to the rich company owner. The senior manager learns about Vishwas attacking the guard, so he goes to confront him. The manager has an argument with Vishwas and orders him to stay out of the factory grounds. Vishwas reluctantly walks away, but Sudhir is only interested in the powers of his hand. At night, Preti teases her husband for not using a hormone bag, which is why they are having a baby soon. Sudhir doesn't care about it, but Preti sends him away to get some food for her. He goes to a bar to order the food, and we notice that even Vishwas is there. Vishwas is scolded by his boss for attacking the factory guard at the mineral water company. Sudhir has a video call with his wife. However, on his way out, he runs into a zombie that attacks him in deadly fashion. Vishwas luckily saves Sudhir by throwing the zombie away, but both men get into an argument over their previous meeting at the factory. Vishwas' hand is about to awaken again, so he has to calm his hand down with some anti-hormone spray, but gets attacked himself. Sudhir runs away, but the zombie reawakens and attacks the crowd at the bar. Sudhir takes his wife to the police station and complains to the head cop about how he was attacked. The head cop tells him not to take this matter seriously, but Sudhir says that the man who attacked him might have been a zombie. Sudhir is made fun of and told to chill. He has a nightmare later and decides to investigate the issue some more. The next day at the factory, Sudhir asks his manager for some papers to check on the town's current water shortage. The manager ignores his request and tells him that the boss has invited him to his farmhouse for a party. Meanwhile, Vishwas is brought to the cops and gets arrested after he says that his hand was guilty of the wrongdoings, but not him. At night, Sudhir attends his boss party, while some workers get attacked by a group of zombies that have now infiltrated the company's factory. Sudhir finally gets to meet his boss, who acts nice at first, but mentions that Sudhir must dilute the numbers on the pollution board documents to make sure the company is unhindered. Sudhir becomes suspicious, but the boss tells him to mind his own business and focus on making him more money. Meanwhile, Preti calls for an Uber driver, but he gets attacked by a horde of zombies after he has trouble finding Preti's location. At the police station, Vishwas awakens his hand to fight his annoying cellmate, so a cop tries to stop the chaos. However, they are suddenly attacked by a zombie that ends up biting the cop. Vishwas manages to break out of his cell and lock the zombies inside, but then he notices that his cellmate has also transformed. A zombie invasion starts to take full effect, while Vishwas struggles against his opponent. He eventually smacks a pot on the zombie's head, and it seemingly dies after the pot water pours all over him. Meanwhile, Preggy, her maid, and an old man realize that there is a zombie apocalypse happening inside their building. The old man tries to shoot a zombie, but is unable to fire his gun, so Preggy smacks the zombie with the gun. The team evades other zombies and makes their escape along with a grumpy man. Sudhir makes his way back home, but even his car gets attacked by zombies. He tries chanting some prayers to exorcise the muscular zombies, but it is of no use. Luckily, Preggy and the team spot him and notice that the zombies are attracted to loud sounds. The team triggers some cars so that the zombies can be distracted. They then enter Sudhir's car to make an escape. A reporter and her cameraman find Vishwas at the station and are shocked to see all the zombies everywhere. The trio teams up, trying to find a way out of the city, but they are attacked by the head cop, who is now a zombie. Luckily, Sudhir's team crashes into the zombie, and then Sudhir has to face off against him. He is useless against the zombie, so Vishwas comes to his rescue. Now everyone gets into Sudhir's car, and they drive away while the zombies continue their dominance. The team reaches the city border, but are stopped by the cops, who are trying to contain the infection by creating a perimeter around the borders. Sudhir tries to reason with the cops to let them through, but he starts to act in hilarious fashion, and it makes the cops think that he has also gone crazy because of the virus. Sudhir tells the cops that he hasn't been bitten, and he even offers to strip for the cops, but they are not interested in seeing his ugly and hairy muscles. The old man has had enough, and he tries to threaten the cops with his shotgun, but he gets shot instead. So the team has to drive back into the city. They take the old man to a hospital to help him, but they find deadly zombies everywhere. A fight breaks out over there, and Vishwas takes on some zombies by himself, while the others fight them fast and furious. Sudhir accidentally walks into a room with more zombies, but he manages to escape without getting bitten. A chaotic chase follows as the team runs into an emergency room, where they find the doctor, whom Vishwas' hand had threatened earlier. The zombies try to break into the room, so the team struggles to hold the door down. Luckily, Preggy comes up with an idea and blocks the view of the room. This manages to keep the zombies calm, but the team is trapped there for now. Sudhir mentions that some of the zombies didn't have any bite marks, so the doctor says that this is because of weak immunity, as he had seen the same thing happen to all his patients the previous night. The old man's condition continues to grow worse, so the doctor deals with him, while the reporter checks out the news for some tips on how to tackle the apocalypse. However, she learns that the internet in the city has been shut down, and they are being closed off from the other cities. This causes a lot of panic amongst the team, and it leads to an argument. But Sudhir tells everyone to shut up because his wife is pregnant. Unfortunately, when he checks his arm later, he spots a bite mark and fears the worst. The doctor says that the injured old man needs B+ blood, so Preggy asks her husband to do the honors as he has the same blood group. However, Sudhir awkwardly walks away, so she follows him out of suspicion. Sudhir reveals that he has been bitten, and he asks her to stay away from him. The husband and wife become emotional with each other, knowing that Preggy will be left alone. The next day, Sudhir wakes up looking like a zombie and is beaten by his wife with a rod. However, he reveals that he was mistaken and actually had a scratch, not a bite mark. Preggy is skeptical at first, so she asks Vishwas to check him out. Sudhir clears the test, so he is happily united with his wife. Now the doctor tends to a sick girl, and Sudhir recognizes her from the time he saw her at the leaking water pipe. It finally strikes Sudhir that the people of the town are getting sick from all the toxic waste of the mineral water company and its immunity-building water because the company is using harmful chemicals to treat the water. Sudhir tells the group that they need to enter the company's factory to stop this mess, so they leave immediately. Sudhir wants to join them, but Preggy stops him. He convinces her to let him be of use because he doesn't want to be a coward dad to his new child. Now the Dare to Die team prepares for the zombies and covers themselves with protective gear. Sudhir still cannot believe that Vishwas' hand has a mind of its own, so Vishwas explains how the boss of the water company had killed his family and twisted his hand during one night. This event would trigger the hidden spirit living inside Vishwas' hand. With new determination, the team finally steps out of the room and throws a phone to the other side. They play a song, and the zombies get distracted by the sound, so they walk toward it. The team uses this chance to escape the hospital and get into a car. They cross tons of zombies on their way to the company's factory. The team enters the factory and notices that it is filled with zombies as well, so they distract them with a bottle of water. They carefully make their way forward and reach the gate to the pipeline. Sudhir and the others are briefly scared by a dead guard, but break open the gate and move to the pipeline. They find the chemicals causing the infection, but the boss shows up with the manager. He offers to bribe the team so that they can leave him alone, but they refuse to give in to him. Vishwas wants to shoot the boss, but the team advises him against it. However, the boss insults Vishwas' dad, which instead awakens his hand to shoot at the boss. But the gun turns out to be empty. Sensing an opportunity, the manager shoots Vishwas' arm, and then he escapes with his boss. Unfortunately for them, they get eaten by some worker zombies on their way out. Sudhir and the others try to escape these zombies, but barely manage to get inside a room and seal the zombies away after an intense struggle. Vishwas' injury starts to get worse, so the reporter tends to him. All hope seems lost, so Sudhir calls his wife and tells her to leave the hospital, as he doesn't know if he will make it out alive. Praggy is emotional at first, but then she teams up with her maid and decides to go save her husband. Unfortunately, as they lead their own team of survivors out of the hospital, the grumpy man locks them inside and refuses to open the door as the zombies approach them. Luckily, a boy had managed to get out of the hospital with the grumpy man, and he breaks the door's windows with a smoke bomb. Praggy and her team get cornered, but the smoke triggers the sprinklers. The zombies freeze once they are struck by the water. Now that they know the weakness against zombies, Praggy and her team get into a fire truck and leave the grumpy man behind to die. Meanwhile, Sudhir is brought back to his senses. He refuses to die here, so he breaks the windows of the room and escapes with the team. They run into more zombies and end up fighting them as they have no other choice. Vishwas channels his true hand energy into battling zombies rather than letting go of his hormones. Sudhir hilariously counters the zombies by placing a ladder on them, but more zombies arrive, so he and the team run away. They try to fend off the zombies with some barricades, but it's of no use, and they get cornered once again. Luckily, Praggy arrives in a fire truck, and her maid hoses the zombies with water, freezing them in the process. Sudhir and his team realize their advantage, so they quickly use the hose to freeze all the other zombies. Thanks to this discovery, the zombie invasion is taken care of. Later, Vishwas gives an interview on how he helped stop the apocalypse. However, he thanks his hormone let-go hand for helping him, instead of Sudhir. Sudhir doesn't care, because Praggy has finally given birth to a baby girl, and everyone in the family celebrates. The movie ends with a shitty zombie walking on the railway tracks, but he gets hit by a train. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.